when you do it? When you are doing mean things to people? Like, I get it. You want to expose somebody. You want to, say, nope, 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 this person's not this or what that. But it's like, at what point do you stop doing it? That's what I don't understand. And it's like I feel like when certain people go live and they're trying to have fun and they're trying to just play music and dance and just be themselves, I just think that people can't accept the fact that people want to be happy, that people want to have a good time. Not everything has to be a fight. Not everything has to be mean and hateful and rude. Whatever happened to read the room? This live, they're in there listening to music, they're dancing, they're singing, they're having a great time. Like, why go in that live and disrupt it? Why go into somebody's live and disrupt it? I mean, is this how you people function in real life? Is this how you wake up in real life? Is this how you treat people in real life? Is there that many cruel and hateful people? Or is it because you just feel like some Billy badass on the internet? And I know that the only reason I had that many people in my live was because tensions were high. But it's like, I don't know. I don't like seeing people upset. I don't like seeing people, cry. I don't like seeing people getting torn down. I've had people on this app that I don't even care for, that I have seen them break down and I have some type of empathy for them. It's like, I feel like that no matter what, it's just like, okay, cool. You did the job. You did the damn thing. You made somebody cry. You made somebody upset. Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of yourself for breaking someone down? Are you proud of yourself for hurting someone's feelings? I mean, does that make you feel good about yourself when you just constantly berate people and try to make somebody look shitty, all because you want to try to feel better about yourself? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, leave people alone. Go on your own platform. Say what you want on your own platform. Stop going into other people's lives and wreaking havoc, all because of attention. And just because, I'm sorry, but like, I knew, I didn't, I'm one of those now where it's like, okay, well, there's got to be some type of misunderstanding, because we all know when people start fighting and arguing that, one person might start to drag the other person. And it's like, I didn't want that to happen. I don't want anybody to attack anybody. I am so over this shit. I've been having it happen to me for the past several months. People can't keep my name out of their mouth. People cannot stop spewing shit about me, talking about me. I could go scroll into a live and all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm being talked about. My name's being dragged through the fucking mud. Why? Why? What are you getting from it? When you log off of this app at the end of the day, do you feel good about yourself knowing that you were actively destroying people? I want to be able to come on here and laugh and joke and play music and sing and do all those fun things. But it's just like, there are people on here that don't think that people deserve to be happy. And who is anybody on this app to tell anybody that they deserve happiness or not? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get people's thought process. I don't get how people can wake up every day and choose to function and choose to be an asshole every day. Oh, I'm going to get up on the green screen and I'm going to show these messages. I'm going to get up on the green screen and I'm going to show these pictures. I'm going to get up on the green screen and I'm going to dox people and I'm going to show pictures of their house and of their families. I'm going to show pictures of obituaries. I'm going to sit here and draw things on people's faces and I'm going to body shame people every day. I'm going to tell people how shitty they are because I have nothing better to do with my life. And you can't sit here and tell me that there's these groups. It's like I can't get away from this side of fucking TikTok. I cannot. I have blocked so many people. I have tried to change my fucking algorithm. And it's just like, I don't want to see certain lives. I don't want to see certain people. And it's just like, no matter what, I cannot get away from this side of fucking TikTok. And here's what I'm going to say. If you don't want to fuck with me, if you don't like me, don't go into the places and the spaces that I'm at. And if I have somebody that I care about and I have somebody who's my friend, I'm not going to allow just, that's why when I was over there, you know, I let people in my boxes, you know, I'm never going to allow somebody to be attacked by multiple people at once because I know how that feels. I know how that feels to get into a box and have 5 or 6 people just barking at you. And you can't get a word out. You can't speak. You can't say nothing. They mute you or, you know, they drop you out of a box. That's why now I just go on my own live because you can't drop me out of my live. You can't stop me from speaking my mind. You can't stop me from saying what it is I want to say. And I watched I watched a video that was posted on an account. You know, the whole story of me meeting that person 14 years ago. Me finding out that the person that I brought home the very next day was not, in fact, over 21. They were 19. Do you know that now I have been called a predator? I was called a P3DO. I have people out here spewing lies and saying the most foul shit about me, all because they don't like me. And you know, out of all of it, one person spoke up. One person. And in the video, Malibu, out of all people, said that calling me that was wrong, and even calling me a predator was wrong. That's crazy because one of my ex-husbands was 9 years older than me. Does that make him a predator? Because he was 9 years older? But I was of age. It's crazy that you guys will take something, you will spin it, and you will paint somebody in such a horrible light. Do y'all not realize how damaging that could be to not only my life? How that could be damaging to someone else's life? You're literally out there taking a story that you've known for over a year, and all because you don't like me, you're now taking that story, you're twisting it, you're turning it, and you're painting me out to be some predatorial monster, calling me a P3DO? Do y'all not know that that's slander? Do y'all not know that that's defamation? And I know that some of you people on this app think that you're not touchable. And you may have freedom of speech, but there's not freedom of consequences. Do you guys understand that? Do you realize that the things that you lie about and you spew on other people, if you don't have solid proof and you are out here defaming somebody, destroying their character, slandering their name, putting false jackets on people, something that happened to me 14 fucking years ago, and all because you don't like me anymore, you're now taking the story that you were once okay with and that never had a problem with, but now all of a sudden you're taking that and you're calling me a predator and a pedophile? Smashly, you called me a predator. Megan, you called me a P3DO. You literally spewed lies and told everybody that I tried to unalive my dog, that I was a bad dog mom. And even though I know the truth, and even though I know me better than anyone else on this app, you guys will take something and you will spin it and you will turn it and you will paint someone in a bad light. Do y'all not realize that saying that shit about somebody can get you in trouble legally? Do y'all not realize that? You know, you can go and make a fake account and all this other stuff, but you don't think that these accounts can't be traced? You don't think that these accounts can't be found? You don't think that people can't figure out who it is that's behind these accounts that are doing these things, or people that are actually doing it in their lives? And to you individuals that are doxing people, showing family, showing pictures of DV photos, you're spewing lies and putting false jackets on people. You're telling somebody that I've never harmed anything in my life. I know, Gravely, I know that. And it's like these are the same people that will do these things to people, but then they turn around and they want to talk about people's mental health. And they want to talk about like they give a shit about people's mental health. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're only saying that because you are saying what you think people want to hear. You don't give a shit about people's mental health. Oh, that's right. You only care about your own, or you only care about the people that you sit with. You only care about their mental health, right? But you don't care about the people that you're destroying. You know how many people on this app have taken their lives because of bullying on this app? Do you know how many adults and children have ended their life because of constant bullying and harassment on this app? And then when it does happen, everybody wants to act all shocked and have that shock value as if they can't believe it would happen. I don't understand people. I don't understand human beings. I don't understand. I have seen people that, like I said, I don't really care for. I really don't support. But I have seen people get broken down, and I can actually sit back and say, wow, people have taken it too far. You know, why can't people just leave this person alone? Even though I don't care for that person, I have enough empathy to say that this is so fucked up. I'll never understand the way that people move. You know, I know that I have done and I have said things on this app when I was not in my right mind, or I was around people that were not a good influence in my life, and that's not a proud thing for me to say. I'm actually embarrassed knowing that I allowed myself in certain places and spaces and situations. I'm embarrassed how I have acted, some of the things that I have said, but I'm self-aware. I am not blind to it. I don't sit back and go, you know, give an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, explanation of why. I can honestly say that most of the time that I have reacted the way that I have acted is because it's reactive abuse. It's because people just keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on. And then finally, when I do snap, you guys will say, oh, she's having a crash out. No, it's me. It's me finally having enough. It's called reactive abuse. And it's the same people that will continue to do these things to you that say hold yourself accountable, but their actions are never being held accountable. Their behavior, and I don't care what anybody says. You can put all the things that I have done, and you can do all the things that other people can do, and I will tell you that I can't even match what some of the fuck shit people have done on here. I can't even imagine going to that level of what some people have done and continue to do. It's like people think that let's raise the bar. Let's do this fucked up shit. You know what? That didn't hurt enough. So let's raise the bar. Let's do more fucked up shit. It's like some people just can't. It's like they want to just keep building and building and building and building. And then when finally somebody is so emotionally wrecked, and that person finally crumbles and they break. It's like, was it not enough the first tier, the second tier, the third tier? Do some of you guys have to wait until you see an obituary to say, oh, maybe I went too far? Is that where we're at in society? It's like, I feel like some people on this app want to be the judge, the juror, and the executioner. You have no right to come on this app and treat people the way that you do and keep doing it on a daily basis, and then sit in a box and try to convince people that you're a good person. At least I am adult enough and woman enough to know that I know that there's things in my life that I have needed to work on, that I still need to work on. And it's not an overnight thing, but I can honestly say that I have stepped away from so much bullshit on this app. And I'm so fucking proud of myself for doing that. I am so proud of myself for stepping away from toxic people on this app. The hatefulness, the berating of people. I don't know how you would feel, but just think every time you woke up and you go into a live in a certain group, they've got your picture plastered, or people have your picture as their profile picture. And the fact that some of you adults sit here and engage in toxic discords and toxic Reddit pages, and you sit there and you hide behind these fake screen names, are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of the fact that you can sit there and you can go into a live knowing that the things that are happening are wrong and you don't even say anything? And I don't care, but for anybody to sit there and call me a predator, for anybody to sit there and call me a P3DO, when you guys have known this story for over a year, from start to finish, and entertain any of it, is gross. It's gross. And what's really sad is when someone who doesn't even really care for me can actually stand up and say, no, that shouldn't be said, or no, that's wrong. We shouldn't be saying that. That's not right. At least kudos to that person. I just don't understand it. I feel like people enjoy just fucking wrecking people's lives, wreaking havoc on this app. And I have watched enough fuckery these past couple of months, just kind of sitting back and watching some shit and watching how people have been moving. And honestly, it's embarrassing. And at least I can tell myself that, you know what, at least I was smart enough, even though I've had to go through shit, I've had to go through hell because of it. I at least said, I'm fucking done with all these toxic people. And I've washed my hands from it. And I'm proud of myself because I'm not going to get sucked back in. I'm not going to get dragged back in. I'm not going to sit with people that do these things. I don't want to be perceived as a person that that sits with people that do the shitty things. I don't care if you're in the comment section. I don't care if you're in a box. If you were in a live where shitty things are happening and you don't remove yourself, you're good with it. You know, I've seen people in the comment section say, you know what, I'm out. I'm not going to listen to this. I have respect for people that can do that. But some of you people don't want to speak up and say anything because you're so worried that people aren't going to like you. You're so worried because you're not going to fit in. You're so worried that people are going to clap back or maybe tell things on you. There's nothing anyone has on me on this fucking app. Nothing. Nothing. It's the same shit. Shit from last year, shit from January that y'all just keep bringing up over and over and over again because you have nothing new. And the fact that you have nothing new, it literally makes me look at myself and say, you know what, Shannon, you have made those changes. You are headed in the right direction. Because these mother truckers don't have anything else on you. They're using old shit to try to destroy you. But if you can literally sit there, and there's a lot of people that sit there and go into these groups and when I'm being talked about. But it's crazy because some of these people are in my DMs encouraging me and being nice to me. But when you're in a group of people and you're sitting with a mass of people that they don't like me, you don't speak up. I mean, I had one today. I went into a live today. Some people didn't want me in that live, but that person who was holding that live told them that she said I could be there. And I have a lot of respect for her for that. And even though there was a lot of people that maybe didn't want me there, the host who was holding the live told everybody that I was allowed to be there. And who is anybody to tell another person, why is that person here? Why is that person in the comment section? Why is that person in this live? Nobody controls anybody on this app. Don't allow anybody to control you on this app. If somebody comes into your live and someone else in the box doesn't want a certain person in your live, tell them, okay, then leave then. If you don't want that person in this live, but I'm okay with them being here, then you leave. But it's okay for you, Cashley, to sit there and call me a predator? Can you say, Smashly, that your behavior hasn't been always the right way? You can't sit here and point the finger at me when you have done some pretty foul shit too. And you have been in places and spaces where things have gone wrong. And you might say that's your opinion, but that's also my opinion as well. I mean, I will say maybe your smartest move that you made was when you removed yourself from Bougie and Florida Man and all of those people. But you know, at least I can say that Malibu corrected you and corrected Megan when you called me a predator. But see, that's the thing. Your opinion is just your opinion. But when you spew your opinion to 300 to 400 people in your live, how do you think you're influencing other people? Because we all know, Smashly, you can, your opinion is your opinion, but when you express your opinion to other people and you know that people on this app follow masses, they will start to think like you think. Because we all know that there's a lot of people in this app that aren't free thinkers because they want to fit in with people, so they think how the host thinks. That's how rumors get started. People like to twist and turn things all because just because you want to, I may have my opinion on things, right? I may have my opinion on certain topics, but you know why I don't talk about a lot of topics is because I don't even want to open the door. I don't even want to open the door for that conversation to be had. I don't talk about religion. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about racism. I don't talk about a lot of sensitive subjects. And it's not because I don't think that those things need to be talked about. It's just because I don't want to bring that onto my platform, because I don't want there to be a door where negative shit can get out about people. I talked about a young guy that I took home. Smashly, did you know the story? Do you know that he was in a bar that was supposed to be 21 years of older, and he got into that bar with a fake ID? I was 29 at the time. When you're younger and you go to a bar, do you ask somebody who's in a bar with 21 older, do you ask them for their ID? Do you say, can you show me proof of your age? Yeah. You don't think that I wasn't a little sus about it when I found out he was 19? I really don't care, but the fact that you guys have known this story and you've heard this story, and then for you guys to even talk on it and speak on it, and for you to sit there and call me a predator was wrong. For Megan to sit there and call me a P3DO is wrong. And I don't care what any excuse you have to say, whether or not you were sus about it or not, for you to call me that when you have heard this story and you've known about this story, because I've spoken on it before. And I've made it very clear. But hey, let's all bring up a subject here, because we have Mallory, who had something that happened to her when she was 24. And then she decides to speak on it when she's 35, 36. Right? And not everybody was sus about that situation. But see, nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. But the thing is the damage is already done. Whether or not I was called a P3O or a predator, how do you think that painted me, Smash? How do you think you painted me? The same goes for you. Do you ever want to come on the app and just do things different? Do you ever want to go on your live and not replay other people's live and replay other people's content? Do you ever just want to be original and not replay other people's lives? Do you ever just want to just be yourself? I don't know about you, Cashly or Smashly, but I'm not crashing out. But you've crashed out several times these past few months. You've crashed out. You've lost your shit. You've had people spew lies on you. You've had people put accusations on you. And you didn't like it. I don't like it. You calling me a predator was wrong, and you know it. Whether or not you might not have called me a P3DO, but you called me a predator, and Malibu had to correct you on it. And you can sit here and try to spin it and turn it in any which way or form you want. But the truth is you said it. The damage is already done. How many times have I seen you cry? How many times have I seen you fall apart because of the stress and the things that people were doing to you on this app? Do you see me holding alive and talking about you and making fun of you for it? No, but it's like anytime that you have any information on somebody, or you can have somebody laugh at someone else's content, I don't know. And I wish TikTok would not allow other people to stream. I wish TikTok would change the rules. I wish you could not stream other people. Well, here's the thing, Cashley. Are you really going to go with that smash? Because see, here's the thing with you, Smashly, is you have no proof. No whatsoever. You know what? You're going by hearsay, right? Well, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take care of every account. Every account. And see, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to block you and mute you. The thing is with you though, Smashly, is you run with other people's narrative. Have you seen my hospital bills? Have you seen my medical records? Are you just going off on hearsay of what you've heard? No proof to back it up? That's what you're doing. But see, Smashly, if I wanted to be the type of person, I could literally serve every single person that has plastered my mental health on their platform and who have spewed lies about me not being in the hospital. And I will tell you what, how would you feel knowing if you got served papers and I dog walk you in court and you saw every bit of documentation that I have? How would you feel then, Smash? How would you and Mallory and Megan and Blue feel knowing that you have spread those lies about me and slandering me with no proof? None. How about the fact that you are out here calling me a predator and Megan's calling me a P3DO? Do you know that that's slander? Do you know that with calling me that and spreading those lies, that could potentially ruin my career or potentially affect me in real life because of your lies that you're spewing on social media? Do you know that it may be freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of consequences, right? You know that what you say and the information that you spread, if you have no proof behind it, and you are slandering somebody's name and character, you can be taken to court for that. And I know that you guys will sit here and think that I'm not going to do anything, or, I'm not going to take action. Let me tell you, I have every single live documented where my mental health, my mental stay at a hospital, and saying that I lied and I stole a hospital gown and I put a cheese grater to my face. And then I had Mallory and Blue say that I admitted on a live and I admitted to faking it. I would like somebody to please pull that live. Pull the live. Pull the live where I went live and admitted that I faked what I went through last year. You know why? Because I never said it. Name, I don't get the same respect. It's a two-way street. You know how many times that I've gotten spoken on? You know how many times that I have gotten dragged over lies? And I wasn't allowed to have a voice? You know how many times that I was muted in a box and I was bashed and I was trashed? Because we all know what Smashley's going to do. We know her MO. I know her MO. You know what she's going to do? She's going to get a recording of this live and she's going to replay it. And then her chat is going to talk mad shit on me. So let me ask you a question, Nick. Do you think that it was right for Smashley to call me a predator? Something that happened almost over 14 and a half years ago. A story that I shared over a year ago. And now Smashley's calling me a predator? But that's the beauty of my platform, is you don't get a voice over here. I don't get a voice on your platform. I don't get to speak on your platform. You don't get to have that privilege over here on mine. You don't get to come over here and just speak to me any which way you want to. And I don't care how many accounts that you come in under. I'm going to block every single one of them. So come under here under one of your sneakies. The thing is you don't have a problem with speaking on me. And you don't have a problem with saying foul shit about me. But when I decide to speak on it and bring attention of the things that you do and you continue to do, you don't like it. But this is what happens when you live on this app. See, the difference between you and I, Smashley, is I don't live for this app. I don't live to entertain strangers every night on this app. This app has become so toxic. It has become such a high school mentality where people gather in groups and they all feel like they're a clique together, and then they want to be able to bully other people. You know, at one point in time, when I first got to know you in the beginning last year, and you were running your platform differently, I enjoyed your lives back then. But to sit there and hear you call me a predator, after you have stated over and over again, it is not right to put false jackets on people. You calling me a predator, what do you think that was? But you don't care how that affects me. But I promise you, if this was said to somebody that you sat with, if this was said to somebody that you cared about, you would be upset about it. And you would be speaking on it. And you would be making a big deal about it, right? But the fact that it's me, it's Shannon, it's fuck her. Who gives a shit what lies we spew on her? Let's forget all the hateful things we say about her. I will never understand how people can sit here and act like they sit on a higher pedestal than other people when they continue to do the foul, fucked up shit. See, I have removed myself from the bullshit. I have removed myself from the drama. But one thing I am going to do is I'm still going to stand up for myself. That's where you've got me wrong. You guys just expect me to put a piece of duct tape over my mouth and to allow you guys to continue to spread these lies and these rumors with no facts at all. But I will tell you that I have the documentation that would destroy a lot of you guys in court. Slander, defamation, emotional, psychological abuse, emotional distress. And you're the type of person that says that you care about people's mental health. Well, Smashley, how many times did you do the things that you did to me on your platform, and you were basically screaming, fuck Shannon's mental health? And I don't have to sit with masses to fit in. I just know that you have people like Mallory and Blue and you, that y'all sit there and talk on mental health and how we should reach out to people and everything else like that. But in the same breath, you guys do play a part in destroying people's mental health. And you guys could sit there forever and a day and hold that situation that happened with Andrew and I, but I made that right. I can't go back and fix it, but you know what? I made it right. And I did what was right. And you're right, Barry Kincaid. You even admitted, Smashley, that once upon a time back in the day that you were a 304. So what gives you any right to judge me? All because a person was able to get into a bar with a fake ID, and because the next morning, after I had to take him home, he admitted that he had a fake ID and he was 19? How does that make me a predator? I mean, if I really wanted to, I mean, I could have sued the bar for allowing, an underage person to go into that bar, but he was of age. I was 29. I was a day shy of my 30th birthday. So my ex-husband, who was 9 years older than me, are you also calling that man a predator because he was 9 years older than me? Who are you to put that label on anybody? But see, the thing is, Smashley's, I don't ever think the words, you know what, Shannon, I'm sorry, I should not have ever said that about you, I was wrong, will ever come out of your mouth. Because you have to sit with the masses, because you know that if you ever get in a box and you admit that your behavior was wrong and you calling a predator was wrong, some people might feel a certain type of way about you. But as you probably prepare to get ready to go live tonight, and you get prepared to take your little iPad and pull up who you're going to talk about and who you're going to discuss for the night, I'm sure that you're going to you're going to talk about this, right? And you're going to spin it, and you're going to try to make people think that I'm crashing out. I'm not crashing out. I'm actually talking in a very calm, cool, collective manner. Now, before, I would have just gone online and I would have popped off, and I would have probably called you every name in the book, and I would have, said this and said that. And I will just say that a lot of people are starting to take the blinders off, and they're really starting to see people for who they truly are. I know that I have made changes in my life, and I know that the direction that I'm headed is in a positive way, and I know that I never, ever, ever want to sit with certain types of people again, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And what I will never understand, Smashley, is that you were so adamant when everything came out with the whole Andrew situation, and you held alive, and you had, all those people in your boxes, and you painted me out to be this, and this, and this, but when I did the right thing, and I did pay people back, and I did pay Andrew back, you never spoke on that. You never spoke on that. You never said, you know what, guys, even though Shannon fucked up, and even though she did wrong, you know what, she made it right. But the reason why you didn't do that, Smashley, is because heaven forbid it's got to always just be negativity or drama. People mess up and people make mistakes, but then when people correct their mistakes and when people try to do better, nobody talks about the good. They always just talk about the bad. No one really, could say that, okay, she fucked up. What she did was wrong. But you know what? She made it right. I didn't just run off of this app. I just didn't hide. I didn't deactivate my account. I didn't just disappear. I cared enough to want to make it right. And I did. Even when I was struggling out of my ass the past, several months ago, and I hardly had a dime to my name because I was moving and getting a new place and a new space, and everybody, and I thought I could pay him back then, and I thought I could pay people back then, and I thought I could get it all figured out, and it didn't work. It wasn't fast enough for some people. But you know what? I made it right. And there's some people that have moved on from it. And there's some people that have just, have said, okay, we're going to move on from it. We're going to let it go. But it's just like with you, Smashley, it's like I feel like any time that you have a chance to poke at me, you do. And I think you took the chance and the opportunity, even though you said Megan calling you a P3O was wrong. I mean, I would call you a predator. You had to throw a jab in there. You had to throw a jab. I just wish people could just leave me alone and let me be. No one has the right to constantly attack and bully people. You know damn good and well you don't do it in your real life. You people need to stop being keyboard warriors and doing it on here, because how you behave on this app, there are consequences. She came in here under several accounts, doing what she does best, trying to gaslight, trying to spin the narrative, trying to manipulate, But Smashley, on your platform, you have dragged my mental health. You have allowed lies to be spewed on me about my mental health. You have told people that what I went through wasn't real. You continue to do so. I have recordings of it. I have screenshots of it. And I'm telling y'all, to the individuals that keep doing it, if you do not stop, and I mean this wholeheartedly, if you do not stop, I promise you, when you get a knock on the door and you get served papers and you go in that courthouse, and I have every bit of the documentation, which I will never show here online because none of you deserve what I went through. I promise you, you're going to wish you would have never spoken about my mental health. There's going to come a point in time where you guys are going to do something that you're not going to be able to fix. There's going to come a point in time where you're not going to be able to take back the things that you have said. The damage is done. And I know a lot of people say, and I'll say it again, freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of consequences. And you know, I know a lot of people on this app have recently been taken to court. I know a lot of people have had to go to court because of TikTok things. But when you're out here spewing things and you're spewing lies and you're running with narratives that are not true, and you're painting someone in a bad light, you know, there's consequences for that. I think a lot of people on this app need to learn how to be nicer and kinder to other people. Stop being so damn judgmental. Stop being so fucking hypercritical of other people. Stop thinking that you sit higher on a pedestal and that you are in some higher anarchy. There are a lot of people on this app that are trying to act like they're some Billy badasses and they're untouchable and they're tough, and you know, they come in these boxes and say, you know, they're gonna whoop somebody's ass or they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, knowing damn good and well you're not gonna do shit. A lot of you guys project all your anger and your negativity on this app. It's because you're dealing with it in your real life. Your real life is hectic. Your real life is chaos. And so you want to project that hate and that negativity towards other people on this app. And the reason why I can say that is because that was me several months ago. That was me last year. Nothing that any of you people say on this app will affect me another day of my life. You will never see me go live, and you will never see me shed another tear. You will never see me apologize for anything ever again on this app. I owe nothing. I owe nobody on this app time. I don't owe you conversation. I don't owe you my presence. But I will say, Smashley, I do want to bring this attention that there are several people that are currently sitting with you right now, that have personally reached out to me and have apologized for what you have said about me on your platform. And those people have asked me not to say who they are because they're in fear that they will be attacked, all because they're speaking up for what's right. And how sad is it that grown adults feel the need to hide who they are because they feel they're going to get attacked by people on the internet? And you know, before you decided to wake up, Smashley, and before you decided to remove yourself from Florida Man and Bougie and all of those toxic people, you allowed a lot of fucked up shit to happen on your platform. And the digital footprint is forever. Just like I know how I've acted and how I have responded is forever on this internet, I hope you know that yours is too. And this app is not going to be around forever. I know it's the new hot thing, and TikTok is up in limbo as it is. But I will tell you that if this app were to disappear tomorrow, honestly, it would be the biggest blessing, I think, to ever happen in this country. I think social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, favorited, I feel like social media all around is destroying our society in a whole. I feel like TikTok is a place for people to just, I feel like there's honestly a lot more negativity than there is good. And the thing is there's so much good, and there's so much things that could be happening on here that could be positive, but people have chosen to make it a pretty ugly place to be at. Ugly place to be at. But Megan, you were wrong. You had no problem with that story when you were friends with me, when you were sitting with me. You knew all the struggles that I dealt with my mental health. You knew what I went through. You've even admitted that you've even lied about me not being in the hospital, all because you knew saying that would hurt me and it would get people thinking differently about me. Just like you, Smashly, posting a message knowing that it wasn't from my daughter and it having my daughter's full legal name on it. And you said you posted it anyway because it was content. But yet y'all are the same people that sit there and cry when people dox you or talk about you or talk about your kids. In the same breath, y'all are the same people that are out here doing fuck shit to people, and then you want to turn around and play victim when it's done to you. So it's really, really hard for me to sympathize or empathize with you guys when y'all are out here continuing to do the shit that you do. I've never been to prison. I've never been to jail. I have a couple speeding tickets on my record. I've never assaulted anybody in my life. I've never hurt or harmed a dog in my life. I've never had any type of addiction issues, sobriety issues. I realize that there are people in this world that do struggle with those type of things, but I'm a very fortunate person that I've maybe, I'm not the worst of the worst. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't sit there and judge people day in, day out because I consider myself better than them. Some people just have unfortunate life circumstances where life didn't turn out the best. But a lot of you women wake up every day and get in these boxes and think that you are better and holier art thou than anyone else on this app. And I don't. I don't need to explain myself to anyone. Not anymore. My biggest problem back in the day is I used to overshare information. I used to be a lot more open about my life. And now I'm learning that not everybody gets to know me that way anymore. You don't get to see my life outside of this app. And that's something I hold private within myself. And I know that it bugs y'all, and I know that it itches some of y'all's asses that y'all don't know certain information. But I'm going to let y'all keep running with your narrative. And you know what? Megan, Mallory, Smashley, Blue, and any of you other people that are going to continue to speak on me and speak on what I went through, I promise you, your freedom of speech does not give you freedom of consequence. And I'm learning, instead of announcing shit and talking about shit, I'm moving in silence. And sometimes moving in silence is the best way. So if you want to keep doing and saying the things about me that you do, don't be surprised when you get that knock on your door. Don't act surprised and shocked and wondering why this is happening. I'm not a pushover, and I'm not somebody that you can continue to shit on and spread lies on. So with that being said, I wanted to get that out of my system. And I'm sure, as predictable as always, Smashley, you're going to replay this. You may play snippets. You may only play the parts that try to make me look like I'm crazy or I sound crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm just an everyday 43-year-old woman trying to out here live her life and carry on about her life. And while you sit there in that shed every night pretending you're happy and thinking that everybody in that chat is your BFF and they're your best friend, just know, out of all those 300 people that are in your life, you maybe only have 2 or 3 that are actually really fucking genuine. But anyway, y'all keep doing your fuck shit on TikTok if that's how you choose to, carry yourself. Anyway, I am going to go pop myself some popcorn. I'm going to go and enjoy my, my soda. And I'm going to watch a movie. And while y'all all decide to sit around all night long talking about other people and destroying other people, I'm going to enjoy my evening like a normal, functioning adult. So, anyway, run with the lies, run with the bullshit, but just know you would never beat me in court. And you would wish that you've never spoken on me. Period. I'm done. I'm done with being harassed. I'm done with false allegations. I'm done with lies. I'm done with lies. I'm done with it. I'm not a broke bitch now. I got money in my account. And just know that you're fucking with the wrong one. Y'all have a good night.